How's it going, everybody? As you are well aware by now, not a normal video this week. I got held up by, well, some complications in the bathroom, but rest assured, I'm on it. So we're gonna have a very, very pretty bathroom next week for you. So that'll be awesome. So let's get into this. You guys have sent me tons and tons and tons of items, along with a lot of estate sale finds and things we've purchased. So yeah, let me get into some of the more fabulous, amazing things that were received basically in the last month. So before we get into the actual physical items, I do want to talk about a pretty awesome thing that happened this last month. Nick from Reality Daydream and his family all came over here. It's another YouTube channel, and I'll put a link for the description below. But he came and he did an interview and a little walkthrough of the house. I think it shows another fresh perspective. I mean, obviously I get certain shots and certain angles, and when somebody else comes, they have a different idea. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below to his video. Go check it out. Go show him some love. Nick and his family, great, great people, wonderful, wonderful people. So yeah, go give them some support and see a different, fresh perspective on the Charles S. Brown house. So as you can see, I have amassed a lot of things on the bed and the table over there, and kind of a little bit everywhere. I've tried to lay it out the best way I can, light it the best way I can so you guys can see it all. So let's get into it. Let's first start, I guess, with some of the statues we have here, slash newel post lamp. These are all from estate sales around the St. Louis area here. And they're quite beautiful as usual. You guys know I love my Art Nouveau. So this one here, and I think this one here were probably clock toppers. Specifically, this one has like a missing piece there. And she's hollow. Oh, they're always hollow, right? Because these are all spelter. And this one actually has a lip at the bottom that is bent. But it looks like she would have been, there's places at the bottom for screw attachments. So I believe she was attached to something at some point. But, you know, I like them the way they are. I don't know that I'll necessarily do anything, but they're good to just kind of sit places around the house and enjoy them as they are. And then this one, I don't know if this is a repro or not. I've noticed that somebody has painted the flowers up here red, which I don't know. Well, I've never seen one done like this. Also, the soldering on the back of the leaves and stuff looks a little suspect as far as it being old. I don't know. Either way, she's still really pretty. I love all the roses. There's lots of roses here, and the one in her hand I think is pretty cool. So she'll still stick around. And then this mortise and pestle is another quick little estate sale find. I figured that would be probably quite nice for the kitchen. And since we're keeping with the estate sale finds, this little table here, this little boy figure, maybe a cherub, although I think maybe cherubs have to have wings, not sure. But yeah, it's a nice little figural table. I have that statue sitting on top of it. And yeah, it looks really nice. Not the most stable thing in the world. It rocks a little bit. So maybe nothing but maybe a plant could really go up there, because I don't know if I'd really trust putting something more substantial on top of it. And then there's this lamp as well. You know, no lampshade, but it's got these little faces on it. And then a really nice heavy cast iron base. Holds up really nicely. And then of course another little face down there at the bottom, which is rather nice. What kind of shade would have been on something like that? Not 100% sure. If you guys have suggestions, email me or leave a comment. On to some other things that you guys have sent in. This lot here is from Heather. She sent in some really amazing things. This here is a printout of a cartoon or like sketchbook that they put out for quick meal stoves. As some of you guys know, I own a quick meal stove. They were built in St. Louis. They eventually became the Magic Chef brand. And as many of you may know as well, I know Shelly over at the Magic Chef Mansion. I have done tours with her at her lovely house. So I've seen the house that this company built, and wanted to support a St. Louis company even though it's from the past. So my old stove is from them. But this is a cool little coloring book, a copy of one. Things that are real is this right here, which a quick meal ranges plate. I don't know if it would have been for like, say, a spoon while you're on the stove, but it's really cool. And you can see the bottom right here, it says made in St. Louis, Missouri. Quite corroded, but you can see the MO quite well and the made in quite well. But it's got the little chickens. Their logo is actually really cute. It's a little chicken chasing a mosquito. And there's a parade float, a postcard of a parade float on here. Now it's in plastic, that 65 isn't actually on here, but I don't want to remove it from the plastic. It's a really cool little postcard. And quickly staying with the quick meal theme, Abigail sent me this Magic Chef cooking book, probably from like the 20s or 30s. But as I said, quick meal became Magic Chef, so these items are quite related, and this is really cool. So I might have to make some recipes out of here. Thank you so much. Now, we're not quite done with Heather yet. She sent in this book, which is really amazing. This is the Book of St. Louisans. It's from 1912. You can see the 1912 right there. But what this is, it's a book of all the prominent people of St. Louis. And as you may know, Mr. Brown lived in the house here in 1912. We can see Brown Charles Swing, president of Hall & Brown Woodwork Company, Machine Co., born in Browns Mill, New Jersey, November 27th, 1852, son of, and then it actually has his address on here as well, which of course would be my residence. Residence 2337 St. Louis Avenue, which is this house here. So he was still in the house in 1912. He sold it in 1915. But it's cool to be able to, read up a bit more about him. And it's also cool to, that I have this book. I can, find other famous St. Louisans as well, at least if they were alive in 1912, which sadly means that Hall, the Hall of Hall & Brown, wouldn't be in here because he had already passed away at this point. But still, really awesome, Heather. This is really cool. It's already come in handy as a resource for actually other people I know who are looking up their addresses and trying to find more about their original owners. So thank you really a huge amount. This is massively helpful. And all of these items that you've sent are really, really amazing. Thank you, thank you. So last but certainly not least, on the table here, we have this beautiful vase with little daisies or sunflowers. And this was given to me by Danielle. Her friend, who was in her 70s when I gave it to her, gave her the piece. And it's brought her a lot of joy, she says, and it's something she cherished deeply. So I think to share that with me is quite amazing of a person. And it's inspired me quite a lot, enough so that when I saw these shades for the lamps, the sconces I'm going to have in the bathroom, I knew they had to be sunflowers because that's exactly where that vase is going to live. There's a little shelf in there, and I think I'm always going to put daisies in it because it's just beautiful and it's perfect, and the colors work so beautifully with the bathroom. So thank you so much for sharing this wonderful historic item with me. And I hope you're recovering well from your surgeries. So moving on from this lot, onto the bed of dreams. We have some other really amazing things. First thing on the bed, we come across these, which are Stereographs. They were sent in by Neil, who also sent us some other items earlier, like the razor blade and that molding plane, and that molding plane. But basically you can see these are, duplicates of the same thing over and over again. You put these on a stereoscope, which I actually have, and I have a few of these already as well, but these things are really cool. It's like Victorian 3D, if you will. Like you see things in 3 dimensions. It's actually the technology before 3D glasses and all that stuff, but it's a really old technology. And he sent a lot of really cool ones of different things. Like they got some ducks up there, some people from India here. The Moki people. It's really cool. So just various different things. I believe this one's Yellowstone. Maybe this is El Capitan. I know there's one of Yellowstone here, one of the geysers, which might be a little difficult to see because it's a bit faded. And somewhere probably in the Alps, looks like. So, really cool stuff. And I've played with these things before because my dad has a stereoscope, and I think he's going to give it to me because it'll belong perfectly in the house. And so, if you come around, you can see what Victorian 3D looked like when you guys visit. And as always, thanks Neil, man, these are really cool. And moving on, we have, so a few of you guys might know, St. Louis had a World's Fair here in 1904, and it's a big deal for the city of St. Louis. It's definitely like the shining moment of the city, I suppose. And, like Meet Me in St. Louis, that famous movie or famous show, It's on like, you know, they do it in plays and stuff all the time. At least around here they do a lot. But that was all kind of based around what was happening at the time of the World's Fair. So my buddy Justin found this at a estate sale for me and picked it up for me, which is really cool. He's always finding really cool things, including like the bed this thing is all on. He found this at a estate sale, but this one he actually picked up for me and gave it to me as a gift, which I think is really, really nice of him. And we'll be seeing more of him later on in the week for sure. These were sent in by Peter and Ellie. If you guys remember, way back in the day, or not way back in the day, but probably about 6 or 7 months ago, I made a video of some of the items you guys sent in, and there was a collection of postcards. These are actually postcards from that same collection. Their great-grandfather was a traveling salesman, and we'd get these postcards sent to him from all over the place, from different salesmen. And this is just an extension of that collection. And, you know, they're really cool. Some of them are World's Fair. They're all dated, like, between 1903 and 1908. You know, this one has some glitter on it, which is pretty cool. Because, you know, this is when electric lights were really becoming quite a big thing, so it's kind of mimicking that. So I think it's really cool they did that with glitter. Keeping with the World's Fair theme, these are from Dominic. This is a plate of the machinery building. A few episodes back, I showed some cups I have from the machinery building. I think this actually matches one of the cups and the saucers I have. But Mr. Brown, you know, Holland Brown, Mr. Brown actually displayed his machinery at the World's Fair in this building. So this plate's really cool. It's got a little bracket here that you can use to hang it up, which is really, really awesome. And yeah, Dominic, these are really cool. And these are also postcards from the World's Fair. This is the machinery building, which is really cool to have. Again, this is a connection to my house, which is really awesome. And the really cool thing about it is you don't really see very many of these postcards that are unused. And this one's actually unused. And this one here, also of the machinery building, is actually a business card. Now, I don't want to take it off of this because it's taped down. And I want to keep everything straight. It's on the back of an old book cover to keep it nice and flat. So I try to keep these things as nice as humanly possible, of course. So Dominic, thank you so very much, man. These are such cool pieces that relate directly to the history of my house, and I absolutely love that. So Nadine sent in this one little individual postcard here, which is really awesome. The Mechanics American Bank Building, St. Louis. I don't know if that building's still there. I'll have to look up into it, but this is a really cool little postcard. As always, you know, I love these little things. Like, they're going to be displayed all over the house. I mean, you guys are really building a museum here. And Nadine, adding another drop in the bucket of amazing things. So thank you so much. Next two items we got here from Steven. First things first, he saw my original pool for my my toilet. So this is a pool for a toilet. See how it moves up and down? So I have a high tank toilet that I'm putting in, and this is what you would pull to flush the toilet. So it's your toilet flush. Now, what I was using before he thought was disgusting, and yeah, in comparison, I definitely agree. This is way cooler and much, much nicer. So for that, thank you, man. This is really cool, and these things are really hard to find. And on top of that, he's an author, and this is actually his book, so it's not a book he sent me. It's actually his book that he wrote, and his note actually came on his parchment, which I think was really cool. So let me squeeze this over here. But it's about Ludenberg. You're going to crucify me. But actually, this city is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And so the city is completely preserved, or a lot of it's preserved, and he wrote a book about the history of it. And it's actually a really nice book. I've been looking into it and reading it a little bit. Of course, I need to find time to go more through it, but it is really, really cool. So Stephen, man, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love when artists send me their art. And the fact that you're so into preserving your town, I think is really cool. And of course, this is really going to kick off the bathroom and make it look rather authentic and really cool. I don't know that I've even seen one that has the track like that. That's so awesome, man. Thank you. Next thing up is this amazing quilt sent in by Claire. Her great-grandmother made this, and we believe it is actually contemporary to her house. Her grandmother, whose name was Kate, was actually married in the 1870s and died in 1925, and she made this thing. So, you know, it's from the era. She said that the edges, though, were added later. But even the inside of it's absolutely amazing. Like, I feel kind of bad touching it, if I'm being honest, because it's that old. And the fabrics here, I mean, what a treasure trove of ideas on what fabrics to look for when I'm furnishing the house. I mean, all these chairs and all these things I have that I have to reupholster, well, these could be contemporary fabrics. And that is an absolute treasure trove of them. Claire believes her grandmother, her great-grandmother, was a dressmaker. She believes, and that's why she would have had all these different scraps of all these different fabrics. Of course, excluding this edge. But man, it's really, really beautiful, and I can't thank you enough, Claire. This is really, really cool, and it's absolutely blows my mind that you would share something like this with me. So thank you, thank you. She also sent in the box quite a bit of this linen, a lot of which I haven't taken out of the box because these items, actually basically all of these items, get packed right back up after this and get put into a very safe and secure storage area so I can not get all these things dusty, because I really don't want to mess with all these beautiful things that you people have cherished. So Claire, thank you. We'll look into these when we get a bit closer to having a dining room ready for them. Moving now from the bed to this table, which you guys all should know and love that lamp like I know and love it. That's the lucky one. Of course, I have to have her by my bedside because I've been staying here and she's a great night lamp. So, but the table itself was delivered by Lucille, and might I say it's a rather gorgeous one. I would say it's the best quality one I have. I mean, the carving on here is absolutely incredible. A lot of the burled wood, it's just absolutely fantastic. And it seems to really match my bed here, which is perfect. So, Lucille, thank you so much. She actually delivered this, and it was absolutely wonderful meeting you and taking you on a small tour. And we're really, really, really going to love this table. And so I really appreciate it. Again, wonderful meeting you. Thank you so much. So onto the table itself. We have this little letter from Judy, and she sent us these cool little pens and coins. This is the Missouri Day coin. You see the Missouri Day up top. Of course, Missouri is my state. And this is the Missouri building at the 1904 World's Fair. And it's just a really cool little pen and badge. So these are really cool. Thank you, Judy. I've definitely started to have quite the collection of really amazing things related to my state, and especially the World's Fair. So, add to the collection, I can, I need to almost start my own little World's Fair museum, I feel. So you guys are really making that possible. So thank you so much, Judy. So moving along, we have these really cool plates. But they might not look like a whole lot to you, but that's because these are glass negatives. So photographs. And if I hold it up to the light here, of course, they look really creepy because they're negatives, so they're backwards. So I'll be inserting a scan of these two lovely ladies in these plates. That way you could see what they would really look like as opposed to the negative. But these are really, really cool. He also sent a gift to Kim that we'll get to here at the end. So thanks for now, John, and I'll be thanking you again when we get to Kim's gift. Now these here are curtain tiebacks that are glass and really finely carved, or etched, I suppose would be the correct term for glass. And these were sent in by Jim, and they're really, really cool. Now, of course, there's only two, so I'd find an appropriate place where I only need two of them. But they're really, really beautiful. So thank you so much. We'll definitely find a use for them. This is, I believe, what I think was called a pickling jar, or pickling jar set. This is another find that Justin had found and brought it back to us. Really cool. Quite ornate, nice glass. I think things are a bit mismatched here, but overall I think it looks aesthetically okay. As you know, for a mismatched piece, I mean, you know, I think it looks pretty good. So thanks, Justin, for finding that for us. This is a little pot or a little pottery piece, ceramic piece. My dad picked this up at an estate sale, but it's got this little scene of Venice on it, or the Gulf of Venice. But it's a nice little piece, and I think it's from the era. So, you know, at some point for the kitchen or maybe the dining room, that could be a really cool piece there. Moving to the nice little chair we have set it over here, the one I put my shoes on in the morning with. These are sent from Jan, and these are modern push-button switches, which, you know, I've been using in the house. She saw the ones that I did in the hallway in the stairwell here, and found the appropriate ones to put on there, which I already have. I just haven't installed, but that gives me a few more single, or, well, three-way and four-way switches. So that'll be good, because, you know, you never can have enough of these things. And she sent Kim a little special box with a little single pole and a really nice little brass plate, which is mighty heavy, I might say. So I think that's a perfect one for Kim's room, her craft room. Seems appropriate for her, so I think she'll absolutely love that. So thank you, Jan. So this here was sent for Kim's craft room by John, the guy that sent the plates over there. It's a little pin cushion made out of a hoof, which I think is actually quite old. If I look at the back of it, it looks quite old. It's been made with tacks and stuff. And so it's a really cool, and it's green, which is Kim's favorite color. And it's in a heart shape, so I think it's rather cute. And the paper it came in, the way it was wrapped up, I should have wrapped it on camera. But, you know, sometimes you get excited. And we had Kim unwrap this one, and she was too excited to wait. So she really loves it. I think it's pretty cool, and she thinks it's pretty cool as well. So thanks again, John. That's my security system. It has nowhere to go at the moment because it's space it's usually sitting is being taken up, so that's why it's there. These are two books my father found at an estate sale. We have City Legends here. I think this one's from '89, and I think this one is from 1890, which is the Pioneers and Patriots of America. You know, older books are contemporaries of the house as far as years are concerned, and I always do love the books with the embossed and gilt covers. I think they're just beautiful, and these will, I think, really sing on my my bookshelf when I get the library going. So next, Brenda, who actually is the author / artist of this book. I guess there's more artistry than authoring, but this is her book. She makes these. We'll leave a link to her website, but she sent us this one here. It's really cool, and if I might say so myself, I think I fancy myself getting a suit like that. It looks like maybe something Mr. Brown would have wore. And of course, with it, she also sent another World's Fair official souvenir postcard. Like I said, I might have to start my own little museum of World's Fair ephemera. Thank you, Brenda. This is really cool, and actually getting some good ideas for how me and Kim might want to start getting our own little collection or closet together of Victorian wares. And lastly, we have a whole bunch of stuff here from Kevin. Starting out with this really cool book of St. Louis in the Gilded Age. A lot of really cool stuff in here, so I've been flipping through this quite a bit. Again, I haven't been able to pay as much attention as I want to pay to an awesome book like this, but believe me, I will find time to get to it because this is really cool. There's Union Station. Yeah, some really, really wonderful things, and I think, again, some better ideas of what my house would have looked like back in the day. You know, you just gotta figure it out, you know, and things like that really do help. So Kevin is also an artist or an illustrator, right? So he has gone back and taken, you know, photos of things and then redone the houses the way they should look, which I think is awesome. It gives people a more clear vision of, yeah, you could paint your house white, but you could have it so much more beautiful if you'd pay attention to the old schemes. So he's done this quite a lot, it seems. And he's also turned his parlor, which I think he said his house was a 1950s house, into a very, very Eastlakey Victorian parlor, which I think is really cool. He's got some really, really wonderful items here. And yes, one day this is the dream. And one day these rooms will be back to that as well. Along with that, because, you know, Kevin being the awesome artist he is, he made these really cool little scrapbook pieces for us. You could see the Holland Brown stuff here. So these are made directly for us. And they have all these wonderful little pieces that you know, they're just Holland brown and all relate to the house. And man, it's just really cool. All the little pockets and stuff, like there's little bits of paper for like note taking and stuff in there. And Second Empire houses like this one here. It's just really cool. And so I think, you know, I'm always amazed about the artistry of you guys. I mean, 3 of the items here, or 4, well, actually many of the items here were things that either you guys made or you know, for instance, in the quilts your great-grandparents made. To send something that you guys spent so much time dedicating yourself to, I think is really, really awesome. And of course, not just this one. We've got 2 because, you know, you have to have 2, I guess. Is this really cool little notebook. Now I've got it tied in the back and I have to get it untied. I'll just sneak it out of here for brevity's sake. But it's this little notebook. Again, with the Holland Brown theme, it has the Albert Sawinski, the little puzzle from the World's Fair. That's the cover for it. And it's just this little awesome little notebook with these little architectural details. And, you know, I want to use it, but I'm almost like it's almost too beautiful to use. But I guess I'll have to figure it out. But these are really, really rad. These I see are pieces of postcards. Like I almost want to take notes in it, but then I don't as well. I'm conflicted because it's such a beautiful piece. Kevin, these are really awesome. Anytime anybody comes and brings me something that you've poured obviously a large amount of time into, I'm very humbled by that. I mean, I'm humbled by all these things. Look at this spread here, guys. Really quickly before we start wrapping this whole thing up, I definitely wanted to give a shout out to Cashel and Chris. And Chris, happy belated birthday. I know it was Saturday and you're watching this on a Monday, but happy birthday to you guys. And congratulations on getting your house. That's super exciting to get an Italian 8. I'm sure you guys are going to love it. And I'm glad what I did inspired you to want to do that, because the more of these beauties we can save, the better. And you're definitely not going to find a newer house with the same quality as an old girl like this. Promise you that. And thank you so much for reaching out and writing that really awesome letter. We're really appreciative of things like that. And so, happy birthday. And thank you for all the research you're already doing there in DC. You're really, well, it helps. It helps to have friends who want to find things for us, because when you spend so much time restoring a place, it's hard to find all of the pieces that make up the story of this incredible place. And so any information that we get, we're always want to send high praise to it, because the more the merrier. I love telling this story, and the more pieces I have, the sweeter it makes it. So thank you so much. So guys, that'll be the end of the video. That's all of the items I've gotten basically in the last month, but holy heck, guys, this is so much. I don't even begin to know how to thank you guys all for this crazy amount of things. These personal stories, these works of art, these works of literature, the supremely kind words that you guys have shared with us. You guys continue to absolutely baffle me with your kindness. It's just overwhelming at times, and I've said it a number of times, I don't know how I'm ever going to repay you guys for the just absolutely amazing things you guys send. Just so much of it's so, you know, sentimental to you guys, and I just hope that I can give all of these items the respect that they deserve from you guys. And that's definitely a new life mission for me, is to make for sure that all of these items are respected to the highest priority. Which means, first thing first, I've got to get all of this off the bed and back into its boxes and back to my other place so I can put them in storage and be safe with them. Of course, I think things like the newel post lamps and some of the statues, they can be, you know, they can get a little dusty. They don't really, it doesn't really hurt them. And, you know, some elements like that you like to have around just as encouraging factors, keep you going sort of thing. So thank you guys all so much, as always, for watching and supporting us. Just by watching the videos. You guys are absolutely incredible. Best YouTube audience ever. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you guys again, I promise, next week with more bathroom renovations. Probably a huge chunk then, because I'll have gotten a lot done. So we'll see you guys then. Bye-bye for now.